What are some underappreciated or less popular financial disciplines that lead to long-term lasting financial success? I've got that and more coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. There's 6 areas to everyone's financial life, yours, mine, Bill Gates, everyone's, okay? It's your present financial position, your cash flow and net worth, all that. Protection planning, so that is what areas of a risk are you subject to and how do you manage those risks? Do you transfer them by buying insurance? Do you live with the risk? Are you self-insured? Tax planning is the third area, and that is, how are you proactively finding creative solutions so that you can pay the least amount of tax over your lifetime. Tax planning is different than tax preparation. Investment planning is where everyone focuses, but it's really one of the 6 areas, and that is, what are the investment strategies that you're implementing in which accounts to help you reach your long-term goals? 5th area is retirement planning. I would really say long-term goals, retirement, but also college planning and so on, and that is, where are you today? What's your goal? And then what's it take to be on track, and are you doing that on an ongoing basis? And then the 6th area to everyone's financial life is estate planning. And that is, what are your intentions if something happens to you? What's your contingency plan? Do you have everything set up the way that it should be? And we've been doing this comprehensive financial planning. We call it one plan because the secret is you shouldn't have distinct you shouldn't treat each of those areas as separate components of your financial life and maybe have an agenda in each area. You've got to look at it together. The seemingly disconnected parts of your financial life are all actually connected together. And when you're making big financial decisions, you've got to make decisions that bring synergy to those areas. Well, we've been doing this for well over 30 years, have a team of financial advisors, over 80 people on the team. So we've seen a lot of different financial circumstances as we're acting as a fiduciary and serving clients. And one of the things as we're getting to know new folks, when we're hearing their story, it's all about them to start. What are your goals? What are your concerns? What do you hope to achieve financially? And as we're getting to understand who they are and their financial situation, there's certain financial disciplines or characteristics or just habits that they've done that when you hear as a financial planner, when you hear that as part of the story, before looking at any of the numbers or their financial situation, it's very, very likely that, they've been doing this. This is a habit. I bet they're in a really good financial situation. And oftentimes, guys, it's not the real flashy things that you think about when you think of financial success, a nice house or a nice vehicle or lots of vacations. Yeah, that's some of those things sprinkled in, but they tend to be less popular or underappreciated financial themes that as an advisor, your ears kind of tune to those, that when you hear it, you're thinking, yeah, I bet they're really in good shape financially. So what are those underappreciated financial disciplines that just almost always lead to long-term lasting financial success? Well, the first one, and I told you it's unpopular, okay? So don't get mad at me, but I mean it. Budgeting. Budgeting is one of them. And when we're meeting with new folks for the first time and they talk about either their budget or they talk about their cash flow operating system, they don't use geeky terms like that, only we do. Okay, but when they're saying, hey, this is how we kind of operate our finances day to day or month to month or week to week, and they've actually got a well thought out system, it's just a clue that, yeah, financially, they've probably made a lot of progress. Budgeting or your financial, your cash flow operating system, this is the blocking and tackling in your financial life. It often goes unnoticed and it's not the flashy big play, but it is what wins games and what wins championships. It's what goes unnoticed and underappreciated that makes so much difference. So to us, we recommend that people have a 3 bank account system. You've got a bank account where it's your checking account. You're managing your immediate everyday monthly expenses, and that you have a budget that makes sure that you've got margin there and you've got a plan for it. Your second bank account, typically a savings or money market, and that's where you've identified what are the non-monthly expenses that I can anticipate coming up on the horizon. They don't happen every month, maybe every quarter, maybe once a year, maybe it's a couple years down the road, like a a new car or a home renovation, something like, or a big trip, something like that. But you've identified what those things are, and you're saving up for those so that when they happen, when they all of a sudden are at your doorstep, you've got the cash to manage them. And then that third bank account we all know is the emergency fund. This is normally a money market account. I would, instead of calling it an emergency fund, I'd call it a financial confidence account, because when you have that account funded, you've got your delayed spending, you've saved up for all your known upcoming expenses, and you've got a budget with margin, you can confidently go after your long-term financial goals. That is one of the underappreciated financial disciplines that often always leads to long-term financial success. Second, and again, no surprise here, but again, underappreciated, instead of, oh, I'm maxing this, or I'm saving this, or I've got this much saved up. Now, how much are you saving? Saving 15% towards retirement, and having done that over a long term, like over most of your career or for a long time, yeah, that is one of the underappreciated financial disciplines that almost always leads to financial success. And here's why something so simple can, and it's fairly obvious, but guys, there's lots of volatility in the markets. Always. I don't know if you've ever seen any of these charts that show the stock market over times and all the peaks and valleys and everything, but all sorts of lines saying, hey, this was the main headline. This was the main worry. This was the main reason why many people were suspicious and expected a drop. And guys, I don't like the drops either, right? And there certainly seems to be just a lot of risks right now in the market. And yet, those who've just sort of lifted their eyes to the horizon and consistently plugged away, saving 15% towards retirement, that's fantastic odds that they have a great financial situation over the long term. And then finally, speaking of investments, again, what's flashy is, oh, I bought this hot stock, or I make all these changes. But I wouldn't say those are telltale signs of long-term financial success. What is, again, it's underappreciated, but the discipline of diversification. When you are talking to someone new, and when our financial planning team is talking to someone new and they've said, yeah, we've got a diversified mix invested in our Roth IRA and our 401k, and yeah, we'd like a second opinion to ensure that we've got things structured appropriately, but yeah, we've had a disciplined, diversified mix ever since we started investing. That again is it's not an assurance, it's not a guarantee, but it's typically a telltale sign that they haven't made some of the most common, very common investing mistakes that have plagued so many of us, getting in at the wrong time, paying too much attention to short-term news, or investing based on emotion. Having a disciplined, diversified strategy often leads to long-term financial success. If you'll allow me, I'm going to just add a couple more. Don't apply to everyone, but I'll tell you two more, and they're softer, okay? And if you're married, one of the telltale signs of a strong financial situation is when we're hearing and talking to the couple, and they talk about money. Not all the time, not every single day, hey, I bought a gallon of milk, that sort of thing, but they're on the same page with finances, at least at a high level. That's often a sign as well. And part of the reason why is it's finances, it's arguing about money that actually is one of the biggest tensions in relationships. So it doesn't mean that you or both of you need to manage the bills together or need to be financial wizards. Absolutely not. But you at least need to be on the same page financially. Not each know exactly what's in each bank account, but hey, are we in good standing, or do we need to tighten the reins? What are the long-term goals that we're trying to achieve? Are we saving the right amount for retirement? At least having some of those discussions ensures you're on the same page. And then this other kind of softer one, and this doesn't apply to everyone, but if you have kids, those that have kids that have had the financial means to say yes, but have still said no, and urged their kids along the way to make their own decisions, and have been there to help, but when it's been in their power to solve something or say yes to a financial pain or a financial want, have pulled back and said no, and helped the kids figure it out on their own. Now that, again, very, very indirect and so on, but a lot of times right now we've got life's more expensive, and helping your young kids and young adults launch and be financially responsible themselves is a huge challenge. And so that as well is another sign of someone that financially likely has had a lot of success. So where do you stand? And I guess any other suggestions or thoughts on underappreciated financial disciplines that lead to long-term financial success? It's those disciplines that your certified financial planner is going to help you pull off and help you identify, and then encourage you along the way while looking at all 6 areas of your financial life, providing clarity, confidence, and creative strategies to help you reach your financial goals. So contact your CFP. If you don't have a CFP on your team, contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well. Or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.